The man who taught the world the 48 laws of power suddenly lost control of his own body.
I was so frustrated. I was so upset with myself. Why can't I walk? What's wrong with me? Why am I still stumbling around? Why is my hand still a claw? Why can't I type?
A legendary author and master of human psychology, a devastating stroke left him unable to write, type, or even walk.
I had to come to terms with, this is my body. This is who I am. Stop struggling against it, accept it, and work with it.
In this video, he reveals the raw, painful reality of confronting his greatest weakness. You'll discover how to turn your darkest obstacles into your ultimate advantage, the hidden genius of slowing down in a fast-paced world, and the exact mindset shift you need to embrace your fate and achieve greatness anyway. Robert Greene.
Well, it was a very difficult process to be honest and to confess the truth. I had to confront a lot of my own weaknesses and a lot of my own problems. In my meditation practice, I do Zen meditation. I read a lot of books on it, although reading is not the way to practice all. But one of the concepts is that you are your circumstances, right? And the human disease is to separate yourself from your circumstances and to feel like something could be better. I had to come to terms with, this is my body. This is who I am. Stop struggling against it, accept it, and work with it. But I couldn't in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated. I was so upset with myself. Why can't I walk? What's wrong with me? Why am I still stumbling around? Why is my hand still a claw? Why can't I type? I was so hard on myself that I was making my life miserable. It was very difficult. So every day was a struggle. Every day was, you can't be like that. You're writing a book that's about something immense, and yet you have to feel it. I have to feel everything that I write about. And so I had to struggle with myself. I had to see what was weak about me, my impatience, the fact that I'm so hard on myself, and where does that come from? Now, I can't turn into this sweet, loving creature that just accepts everything, right? It's not my nature. I am hard on myself, and that pushes me and it has made me successful. But it went too far. So my process was, literally, I had to handwrite everything, this day and age. But then I have this concept, it's not my concept, it's Nietzsche's Amor, Fati, right? Love your fate. Everything happens for a reason. Handwriting, okay, it's a drag, it's a pain, but it actually is a very interesting way to think, right? People handwrote for centuries. They wrote great books. They didn't complain. They didn't know about computers. They handwrote their masterpieces, right? The brain and the hand have an incredible connection. That's how the brain evolved millions of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, because what makes humans humans is that brain connection between that brain and the hand, making tools, making things with the hands. That's where our genius came from. We would still be chimpanzees in the jungles of savannas of Africa if we didn't develop that brain-hand power, right? And if you study the brain, you see incredible connections between the two. Handwriting is a different way of thinking than all that. And it could be a superior way of thinking, right? So it was a drag. It took forever, but in some ways it made me think very deeply. So I have all my notes and research and I'm writing a chapter, right? And I have to handwrite it out. Then how do I edit it, right? Before, I was a very fast typist. I could edit really quickly. My speed was so fast, I could think as fast as I could type. How do I edit this? Well, I had to take two notebooks, one notebook here, one notebook there, and look at that notebook and rewrite the whole thing with my editing, right? Okay. And sometimes I'd have to take a giant sticky pad and put it on there and write over it my edits. If you saw my notebooks, you would go, my God, that's like insanity. But that laboriousness calmed me down. It made me think more deeply. It made me work harder. Being able to type so fast, maybe it's not as solid. Maybe the thinking process is too glib. It really made me slow down. People are too fast now. Slowing down is a good thing. And then finally, when it got into good enough shape, I would dictate it into the computer with a dictating software, which they really suck. You'd think with all of the, incredible technology we have. Somebody would create a great transcription, dictation. I had the best whisper transcription, but it still sucked. Then I dictated it. Then I had to edit it with one hand, typing with one hand, you know? I tell you, when I finished the first chapter, I was like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get through this? Then I finished the second chapter and go, oh God, how am I ever going to get through this? Then the third chapter, I go, all right, I can see it's working. The fourth chapter, wow, Robert, I don't like to say it this way, but I was kind of amazed. When I look back at all that I had to do, I could almost cry. It was so difficult that I got through all 12 chapters plus the preface with that kind of process that I just mentioned to you. Well, there are several moments. So when I'm in the groove and I'm writing and it's going well and I'm enjoying it, that's very, very satisfying. That's not most of the time. That's a small percentage of the time. But when those moments happen and it's like I thought through an idea and I'm being kind of creative with it, it's very, very satisfying. Yeah, because ideas come to you, you don't even know where. And then when I finished the chapter, wow, you know, and it kind of came together, okay. And now, you know, having finished the whole book, I can't even begin to describe what that feels like. Yeah. I'm still insecure about it. I still want people to give me positive feedback. I kind of need it because it was for 7 years, it's all I did. I didn't do anything else. So I'm invested so deeply in it that if people have like niggly comments, I tend to take it personally. But I'll get over that. But the feeling that I climbed that mountain, and I've had to climb other mountains. Human nature was a big climb, but nothing like this. I'll be able to die knowing that I did that, and it's very satisfying, you know.
Life can be kind of difficult, right? You don't really know sometimes where you're headed. Nobody kind of gives you any kind of guidance in this world, right? And they don't tell you when you graduate college, go ahead, go Robert, you go study this. This is what, this is what your brain is suited for, et cetera, et cetera. You have to find your own path. And so for me personally, I spent years in the wilderness. So I'm gonna give this a personal spin because I think that helps a little bit because I can answer it inside my own body here. So I know I want to be a writer, but I can't figure out what the hell I'm going to write. So I leave college and I try journalism because I have to make a living. I have to support myself. And I don't really like it. It doesn't suit me. He writes an article and then a week later it's forgotten. Nobody reads about it. And as somebody who studied ancient Greek and Latin in college, I think in terms of thousands of years and not in 3 days or a week, you know. I want something that I write to be read in 3024, you know. Sorry. So it wasn't a good fit. So I quit. I wander around Europe trying to write a novel with my backpack. I live in London. I live in Paris. I lived in Ireland. I lived in Greece. You name it. I taught English in Spain. Trying to write a novel. I had no discipline. I couldn't do it. It didn't work. And I started to get depressed. I had spent 18 years or so acquiring high levels of skill in writing. Okay. I learned in journalism how to write under a deadline, under pressure, how to make it dramatic, how to make the opening sentence exciting enough to make you read on further. Trying to write novels taught me about creating stories, which is a huge part of my writing. Working in Hollywood, I learned how to research, which is a huge element. And then the theatrical element, making things dramatic, also story. Okay? All of that time, slowly by slowly, brick by brick, I had developed real level skill. So when it came time to write the 48 Laws of Power, I could do it. I had learned all this discipline. I had learned how to write under a deadline. I learned how to make things entertaining. The whole bag. Okay? And so the world opened up for me. Prior to that time, I was miserable. Really, really was. I mean, I had good moments too. You're young. You're always happy when you're young. But a lot of times I was miserable. And I didn't know why, but I was acquiring skills, not even aware of it. And so the reason I write that is when you develop that skill, when you're serious about it, because I was very serious about writing, you change your brain. You rewire your brain. It's like, and this is a remarkable power of the human brain that people don't realize. Something I'm also writing in my new book. This one writer, his name is Schwartz, I believe. He's a UCLA neuroscientist. He wanted to help people who had OCD, right? Obsessive compulsive disorder. And usually it's drugs and it's talking therapy. He wanted to find out something more effective. And he found that through certain strategies that he developed, that they could use in their life, that they would get over their disorder. And the point isn't what the strategies were. The point was he did brain scans. And through the strategies that he gave them to do, which I can't remember right now, the brain scans show that they changed the brain. And his point was, through thinking, through developing skills, you literally change matter, you change your brain. So something non-material like thoughts can literally change your material things like the wiring of your brain. You learn skills, you're changing your brain, you're changing the matter of your brain. Things are connecting that weren't connected before. And slowly, if you do it, if you're serious enough, a point will be reached like it was reached in my life, where either you will start a business or someone will ask you to do something like write a book or make a film, and the world will open up for you and you'll be able to do it because you have that, you've laid the ground, you've laid the soil, everything is there, it's rich. And now something great, amazing will sprout up out of it. When you have no talents, you have no skill, life is a series of endless confusion. You hit this road, you go here, then something else, you go here, then you go here, you end up in a circle and you don't know where the hell you are. When you've got skills, zoom, you know where to go. It's not zoom. Seduction is a language. It's not a language of words. It's a language of gestures that we're paying attention to. We're paying attention to people's body language. We're paying attention to their actions, to the things that they never say. So when you signal that discounts are so important to you that even on the first date you have to have a discount, you're signaling that there's something tight about you in your nature, and it's not very pleasant. A lot of it is, I'm afraid to say, is internet porn, where you get the idea that, sex is something that should be very easy and quick, and that women should have that kind of body and physique, et cetera, and that becomes your norm, et cetera. That can be very damaging. But the idea that things must come easy and quick is very prevalent. And to win over someone like, let's say you're a man and it's a woman who might be reluctant to have sex for good reason or reluctant to have a relationship, requires some effort. It requires some thinking. You can't just hack your way. You can't just swipe and get it. You can have your internet sex, but you're not going to get that in real life. It doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes patience, and you're going to have to work at, and you're going to be rejected. Being with people is a skill. Being a social animal, although there's a part that comes naturally, if you spend all of your time here, you're losing that skill of how to respond to people's body language. Half of the thing is you're sitting in a bar opposite, let's say it's a woman, and how she crosses her legs, how she sips her drink, how she looks at you, how she touches her hair. She's signaling things. It's a language. It's a beautiful language, right? You have to learn it, and you're not going to learn it here because you can't. You have to be in person. It has to be skin to skin. You have to get a feel for what other people are thinking and feeling. And we're actually really, really good at that. That's what makes us human. It's called mirror neurons. I can sense what's going on in your mind. I can read your body language. You have to get out in the world and you have to put yourself physically out there and try and have rejection. And I know it sounds awful, but it is a skill in a way where you're learning
how to like understand and deal with people and understand who they are and get inside their spirit. It takes time and effort and patience. So for young men, you have to realize that, right? If you think everything has to be easy and quick, it's never going to work for you. And I talk about the Hollywood actor Errol Flynn, who is perhaps numerically the greatest male seducer ever, because it's estimated that he had seduced close to 3,000 women, and he died when he was 50. And if I did the math one day, I go, how can that possibly be? And I tried to research what was his secret, and it was hard to find out. Finally, I found a book written by a woman whom he had seduced, another actress, and she said he was so relaxed and so comfortable. It was like an animal type thing. And then when I would sit with him, it was almost as if I had drunk 2 martinis just sitting next to him. His comfort and his security and his confidence, his relaxed attitude, it just made me drunk. So feeling relaxed, feeling confident and not defensive and comfortable with yourself is a very powerful seductive quality. I mean, there are many of them, but that's one that I would point out.